Hi, Tappers. Today we discuss healing, the most important relationship that is damaged when we self-abandon. If you self-abandoned at a very early age, it's possible not much of a relationship was ever formed. So you are potentially approaching a new relationship altogether rather than fixing a hurt one. Let's talk about your relationship with you. My initial response to this conversation was, ew, I don't want to approach a relationship with her. And many, many insults followed. I had a terribly mean inner critic at that time, and this suggestion really sent me over the line. It's okay if this makes you uncomfortable. Try to stay curious with me and let's just talk about it. If you feel a lot of pushback on this, let's graph out why. Write down reasons to not connect with myself and write down every thought and feeling that you have. Angry, contempt, fear, grief, judgment, disapproval. Now is not the time to be gentle and water it down. We are after the perceived truth. Once you have that, you have a lot of breadcrumbs to follow that you will likely be led to breakthroughs from old emotions and events connected to past overwhelm and traumas. Now let's ask, why do I want a relationship with myself? If you have answers, great, write them down. If nothing comes to mind, don't worry. That's not a bad place to be. All it means is that you don't know yourself. It's like going to the park, seeing a stranger, and asking yourself, why would I want to be friends with them? And not having any answers. When we are told to connect within yourself, there's usually an expectation of having the ability to tap into this deep connection already there. After all, we have been with ourselves the longest, right? Not necessarily. Release yourself from that expectation completely. You didn't get to choose how you were raised or what happened, and you had very little choice in how to adapt to survive. Chances are you had to pivot and become someone that you didn't want to or that isn't truly you. And we aren't looking for that person. We know that person. So how do we build a relationship with someone that we don't know at all? Well, the same way you would with that person in the park. You would likely observe them for a little bit and determine a way to approach them in a way that's comfortable for you. Then you would say something like, hey, how's it going? Or, I noticed you looking at the flowers. Are you into gardening? Begin at the beginning. It's honestly quite fun to give yourself permission to become friends with yourself in this way. Have conversations with yourself. Check in and say hi like you would in a text with a friend. When you reach a level of connection that feels like friendship, you can begin to have other conversations, such as asking forgiveness. Hey, I wanted to say to you, I did my best when I was a kid, and honestly, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I'm really, really sorry that you got hurt by it. I didn't mean to do anything to hurt you. And forgiving yourself. Thank you. I understand, and I completely forgive you. You were so little. How could you have known? You did do your best. I know that. And you know what? I'm proud of you for that. There is enormous healing potential here. But just like you can't run up to a stranger at a park and say, hi, tell me your most shameful moment ever, and let's see if I accept you. You also can't apply that kind of pressure to yourself and get the response you are wanting. Approach yourself like you would someone you don't know yet, but you have this intuitive sense that they just might be your bestest friend ever if you did. And if this inner self shows up to you as a child occasionally, as mine did, take them out. I've taken my inner child shopping and gotten her ice cream for no reason. And it meant the world to me that I acknowledged that need in her in some way. And that brings me to possibly the most important point of this whole video series. The reason you do this is so that when that part of you says thank you to you and recognizes you for your efforts of love, kindness, fun, creativity, bravery, and many other good things, you now have a solid and logical reason to accept it. Those compliments no longer live outside of you. but are a reflection of how you now truly feel about yourself. How's that for something beautiful? Go find a way to say hello and let me know how it goes. I'll see you soon.